All right, Kipster, today we're going to be focused on making a rocket. So I know you guys all think like, how do astronauts get to the moon? They use a rocket. It takes them approximately about 3 minutes to go from the ground all the way up to the moon. So there's something called action and reaction. So we obviously not going to really go to the moon, but we can see how their rocket takes off using actions and reactions. So here I have the rocket right here. We have about a quarter worth of water at the top. We're going to use some different amounts of water and some different pressures of air. So this will be our air pump here, our water here. Like I said, it's about 25%, 30% filled up with water. We're going to hook it up to our rocket here. All right, cool. So what we're going to do is take a couple pumps of air. As you see, when the air goes into the pump, the water moves because the places on the rocket where there is no water, the air is turning into an action force to push the water down to make the rocket ascend up. So let's count to, I already did some, we're gonna count those out. I'm gonna do 10 pumps. So everybody count with me, get ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so now it is rocket time. I'm gonna pull this string and we're gonna see how far does the rocket go into the sky. She's still recording. It's up there. It's on the road. It's gone. Good morning, K through second grade. This is Science with Mr. Jennings. Glad you guys could see us do a small science experiment where we were talking about action and reaction. Sadly, the rocket flew on top of the building next door, so we weren't able to test it out with different levels of water, more pumps or less pumps. But we'll do that experiment again. I can't wait to see what cool experiments that you guys can learn from and also maybe even do when we go back to school. So this is our PowerPoint for K through 2. We're going to first look at our excellence mantra rules. Mantra rules are just the rules that we keep inside of ourselves to make us become better people. So we have a couple of rules that you're going to talk with all of your excellence teachers about, and we're going to be talking about it differently, but making sure that you are paying attention and making sure that you are making yourself better every day. So that's the reason why we want to have those excellence mantra rules, to make ourselves better and be cognizant or just understand different ways that you guys can be better people. And does your teachers. We also try to follow these excellent mantra rules because we want to be better with you guys, and we're doing it all together. So, excellence mantra. I'm going to say say our excellence mantra. Respect what's mine. Respect what's not. Respect our time. Respect our thought. Work hard. Try your best. Take heart. Shake the stress. Be kind and never give up. Rain or shine, I am enough. So these are different things that all of us will be focusing on to make ourselves better. This week we are focusing on respecting what's mine. So respect what's mine. Respecting what's mine means to take careful thought and mindness of your things as well as others. So you want to be mindful of your things, but also other people's things, because when you are sharing your things, or someone sharing the things with you, you want to make sure that you're respecting their things just like they would respect their things. So they are sharing those things because they expect for you to do right by those things. So you want to make sure you be mindful. That means to think about what that person want you to do with their things? Do you think they want you to destroy those things? Do you think they want you to take care of those things? Do you think they want you to love those things or be mean to those things? And that can not only be like toys and um, toys and your phone and different things, but it also could be like respecting your room, like your room is yours, or respecting your friends. Those are your friends. Those are things that are attached to you. So you want to respect your friends, you want to respect your home and different things like that. We'll have to look at that shortly. So taking care of things and teaching people how to take care of your things as well as yourself. So you want to take care of, like, your body is yours. You want to take care of anything that is yours, that you say that is my blank. You need to take care of. You need to respect it, and that means being mindful and being careful when you are interacting and engaging in those different things. So this is what this can look like. These are some things, not all things. The things you can respect, like your room. Making sure your room is clean is respecting your room. Cleaning your home is like respecting your home. Cleaning your body and taking care of your body, eating healthy foods, working out, making sure that you are not just eating candy all day. You want to respect your body so it can stay strong, stay fit, and stay working for a long time. You want to respect your community. So this is like going out in your neighborhood and maybe you clean up some different things that people littered, or like mowing grass, or like cleaning up the backyard. These are all things that is like respecting your community, because respecting your community makes it look beautiful. It makes people happier. When it's clean, it more children like yourselves and adults can go play, have fun, maybe throw a barbecue or things like that. You're gonna respect your toys. So like if you are respecting your toys, if I'm being very careful with my toys and making sure that they're not broken, when I share those things with you, you know to treat those things just like I treated it. If I see you sharing your toy with Mr. Jennings, and you're like, "Hey, Mr. Jennings, can you hold my toy or play with my toy?" And I started messing up your toy. That isn't showing respect to you or your toy, because it's not respect. So we are going to respect our toys as well and your friends. So you guys are all now part of our team and family and our friendship. We want to respect each other. And when we respect each other, that means that we're using kind words. That means that we're making sure that we all are doing okay. That's making sure like you're using words like I love you and you're my friend, and making sure you're sharing with different people. These are all things that show respect, and it makes our world a better place. So we're going to look at a quick video, respecting what's mine. So we have a boy here, and I want you to think, is he respecting his toys? And what happened when he was, what happened in the video on what he was doing? What am I trying to say? Sorry. What happened as he was, if he was respecting his toys? And when he broke his toys, he did not have any more toys to play with. So that was a small video, but from the beginning, you've seen how this young boy, he was not respecting his toys. And that made the other person think that it was okay to disrespect those toys as well. So disrespect is when you're not respecting different things. So this is just an example. When you don't respect your things, people don't respect those things either. So that's why we need to respect ourselves, respect our body, respect our friends and our community and our home. Because if your home is not clean, then when people come into your house, they're going to think that they can make your room or your home not clean too. And that's not respecting your home. And that person should not be invited to your home if they can't respect the things that you're respecting. Next, we're going to go into our unit. Our unit is light and sound. Our light and sound is everything that's kind of in the world. When you see light and you see sound, or hear sound. So we see light and hear sound. In this unit, in this lesson, you're going to be able to, Kipsters will be able to identify sources of sound in their environment. So we're going to be looking at a couple of different sounds and kind of see if we can figure out what those sounds are. Kipsters also will be able to describe examples of how hearing sounds helps animals and the wild and people. Sorry, I'll read that again. Kipsters will be able to describe examples of how hearing sounds helps animals and the wild and people. We're also finally going to read a book called Oscar and the Cat, which is a book about sound. We also have a big question. So each one of our units will start with a big question. Our big question here is, what makes sound and how do we hear it? I'll read that again. What makes sound and how do we hear it? And we have one vocabulary word that we're going to focus on, and that is sound source. Everybody say sound source. Everybody say sound source. Sound source means makes sound. Sound source means, good job. Sound source means makes sound. Sound source means making sound. So whenever something makes a sound, it is a sound source. Whenever something makes a sound, it is a sound source. In this lesson that we're about to come up with, you are going to be light engineers and sound engineers. So we have a large unit. This is just our first lesson of our large unit, but you want to become a light engineer and a sound engineer because we're going to get ready to make a shadow puppet theater show. And so I need you guys as light engineers and sound engineers so we can make this theater or movie with our shadow puppet theater successful. So I need you to learn all about light and all about sound so we can make a great, cool movie. First thing we need to know is what makes sound, and that's what this lesson will help us figure out. What makes sound and how do we hear it? I want you to think for a second. How do you hear sound? You hear sound with your nose? No. Do you hear sound with your mouth? No. Do you hear sound with your eyes? No. Do you hear sound with your ears? Maybe. We'll see. Some of you got it right. Some of you, we're going to help you guys get it right and see, what do we hear sound with? We will begin investigating our big question by reading a book about sound and making observations about sound today. So we talked about reading that book, Oscar and Cat, a book about sound. We want to jump into that right now. Oscar and the Bat, a book about sound by Geoff Waring. So Geoff Waring is the author of this book, and we're going to go into the book. So I want you to first think, before we go into the book, who do you think this book is about? Who do you think are the main characters in this book? Oscar and the Bat. Very good. Oscar the cat and the bat are the main characters and the main characters in this book. This is Oscar, the cat, and the bat. One summer evening in the meadow, Oscar heard a new sound. He looked around to see who was making it. Cheep, 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 cheep. Bat swooped by. It's the baby blackbirds, he said. Their nest is over there in the bush. Cheep, 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 cheep. Oh, said Oscar, I can hear them even though I can't see them. Yes, said Bat, our ears help us know what's around us even when our eyes can't. Then Oscar heard another sound. This time he could see who was making it. Sweet, sweet, tweet. The blackbird singing to warn other blackbirds to stay away from his nest, Bat said. Oscar thought it was the most beautiful sound he had ever heard. Sweet, sweet, tweet. I wish I could sing like a blackbird, he said. Kittens can make other sounds, Bat said. Meow. So can bats. Squeak. We make sounds in our throats. Bat went on, but some animals talk with different parts of their bodies. Many male grasshoppers talk to female grasshoppers by rubbing their wings together. Chirp, chirp. Some cockroaches hiss to one another through the holes along their sides. Hiss, 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 hiss. When they nest, some male hummingbirds make a loud sound with their wings to warn other birds away. Whistle, whir. Bottlenose dolphins send messages to one another underwater through their blowholes. Click, whistle, squeak. The tips of rattlesnakes' tails have hard connecting ridges. If other animals come too close, the snake lifts and shakes their tails. Rattle, rattle. Are all sounds talking sounds? Oscar asked. Lots are, Bat said. But almost everything makes a sound when it moves. Close your eyes and listen. What can you hear moving in the meadow? Swish, swish, swish. Grass makes no sound when it's still, but it swishes when the wind moves it. Swish, swish, swish. Broom. Machines are still and silent until they're switched on. Then their engines move and make noises. Broom. Still, water in a pond is silent, but moving water makes sound. Gurgle, 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 gurgle. Rumble, 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 rumble. Oscar could hear another sound. It was in the sky. What's that rumbling? He asked. Thunder, said Bat. There's a storm coming. Even though it's far away, we can still hear the thunder because it's such a big sound. Rumble, 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 rumble. Oscar opened his eyes. It's getting louder, he said. The thunder's coming this way, Bat said. The closer it is to us, the louder it sounds to us. Rumble, crash. And when a big noise is very near, it sounds very loud indeed, Bat shouted as Oscar leaped away. Safe under the leaves, Oscar listened to raindrops falling. The rain is very near too, he said, but it isn't scary. Pitter patter, pitter patter, pitter patter. Pitter patter, pitter patter, pitter patter. The rain is making a gentle sound, Bat said, not a harsh sound like the thunder. When the rain stopped, Oscar put out his head to listen. Is the thunder going away now? He asked. Yes, said Bat. The farther it is away from us, the quieter it sounds to us. Then it was gone. I can't hear anything, Oscar whispered. No, whispered Bat. This is silence. Or it would be if we weren't whispering. But just then, moo! The cow sounds a bit like thunder, said Oscar. Yes, said Bat. Cows make a deep sound. It's low and rumbly. It isn't high and squeaky like the sound the baby birds made. Chirp a treat, chirp a chirp. Now the blackbird started to sing again. That's still my favorite sound, said Oscar. It keeps changing, and it's never too loud and scary or too high and squeaky. It's just right, like music. And he started to purr, purr. Chirra, 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 purr. And that's my favorite sound, said Oscar's mother, who had to come to fetch him. But Oscar and Bet were listening so hard they didn't notice. All right, so thinking about sound. In the meadow, Oscar found out about these things. Listening, our ears help us to know what's happening around us. So we use our ears. Remember when we talked about what do we use to hear sound? We use our ears to help us know or to help us to listen to what's happening around us. We can hear things when we can't see, just like the cheep cheep of the crickets or the rumble rumble of the thunder. So we can tell how far something is, the rumble rumble, or how near it is, that louder rumble rumble. I want you to think, what can you hear now? Close your eyes and think about what do you hear in your house? Like right now, I can hear my ceiling fan. I can hear cars driving. So making sound, all sorts of things make sounds. Living things and other things, like the blackbird is a bird, which is a living thing, or the tractor, which is not a living thing, or the grass, which is a living thing. I want you right now, when you're thinking about sound, place your fingers on your throat and sing or say something. How does the sound feel? So when I say go, everybody gonna say while they're while your fingers are on your throat to see what you feel. Get ready, go. When my fingers on my throat, I can feel the vibrations or the shakes in my throat to let me know that there's a sound. There are different sounds. There are many kinds of sounds. Some opposites help us to think about their difference. So like the rumble rumble from the thunder was harsh, or the pitter patter from the rain was gentle, or the moo from the cow was deep, or the cheep cheep from the crickets were high. The crash was scary. The chirra chirra chirp chirp from the birds were beautiful. I want you to now think about what are some of your favorite sounds. Oscar thinks sound is great. Do you think so too? So, we already talked about the two main character, which is Oscar, which is a curious kitten, and we also seen the other character, which is Bet. So now that we read the book Oscar and the Cat, we learned some different things about sound, like how we hear them, which is with our ears. Very good. So since we've seen those different animals that were in the book Oscar and the Bat, a book about sound, we want to see if we can use our ears to hear some familiar animal sounds. A dog. You said a dog. You're right. You heard that sound with your ears, and you could, even though you couldn't see it, you could hear it. Cat. Even though we couldn't see the cat, we could hear the cat, and that let us know that it was a cat. The tougher one. Right, a bird. We couldn't see the bird, but we could hear the bird using our ears. However, it doesn't just have to be animals. We're going to go back and we're going to see some different things that give us transportation for sound. So we heard a lot of different sounds that were transportation, that were animals. Even right now, I can hear the ice cream truck outside of my house. Even though I can't see it, I use my ears to hear different sounds, and I know that everything that vibrates can make a sound, which we'll talk about later. It was fun doing a science experiment with you guys. It was also fun to learn some things about respecting what's mine. Also super fun learning about sound, figuring out how we hear sound, and learn with Oscar and the Cat, and then finally learning, hearing some different animal sounds and transportation sounds. You guys did so much work today. Can't wait to see you guys next week. Mr. Jen is out.